Hey, James. Hey, everyone. So we are
What's up,
live.
Brian?
Hey, man, not much. I had a great Thanksgiving. Gonna be leaving soon for another Thanksgiving with my cousins. Yeah, this is just a really short stream, like nothing crazy. But yeah, like I just wanted to. I know you said you had a fulfilling Thanksgiving. That was great to hear.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah. Too much food. I feel bad for people that don't have anything, man, because I was just very blessed.
yeah, well, that's great to hear. I mean, kind of, and that's the thing about you know us as humans. We kind of feel bad if we take something for granted. It's just part of our instincts, or part of what makes us human. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, guys. This won't be a long stream. Please ask any questions you have. Hi, Josh. Ask any questions you have in the chat. But yeah, um, so this could be like a very random stream. Like we could talk about anything, more or less, even stuff we haven't seen. So, like for example, I know you're watching From, and people say it's better than Stranger Things. I still haven't seen it, but like I'm very curious to if you think those people are correct, James. Is From better than Stranger Things? Like in
Oh
your
man,
mind?
I actually haven't heard that comparison yet. So to think about it, let me see. I mean, I like both, and I think I like both for different reasons. Maybe even though they're similar vibe as far as horror genre and stuff like that. I guess I don't know. I guess I like both of them equally myself. To me, From is just more multi-layered. Like there's just so many questions and no answers. It's just a different kind of where there were some layers in Stranger Things and mysteries you didn't know, but it's nothing like From.
Interesting. That's very interesting, James. Yeah, it seems like it's more adult centered, whereas Stranger Things is more kids centered.
For sure, for sure.
That's cool. Um, Another thing that's been happening lately, I have been replaying Dead Rising. So do you know the Dead Rising series, the games?
I know what you're talking about, but I haven't played them.
Okay, well, there's one, two, three, and four. We don't talk about three and four; those are stains on the franchise. But one and two are very iconic among the fans. So, um, I always try to, for in the past, any times I've had those games, I've always tried to be like, man, like, what if this was a Walking Dead game instead? But sometimes it's hard to think about that because in the game you are constantly being bitten by zombies because unlike in the Walking Dead, like the zombies are packed so much in the doors and entrances and all that stuff, so you have to just shimmy through them. The way Rick did in season 8 when he was just going through a herd of zombies, like just pushing them off of him, shimmying through. That's kind of how Dead Rising is. It's like it's nonstop
Wow.
shimmying through zombies because like the game, like every single spot is full of zombies. Pretty much, it's
And
exhausting.
is it an open world game?
Yeah, it's open world. Um, in the first game, you're in a super mall. In the second game, you're in a small city or town. And then third game, you're in a bigger city. And then fourth game, you're in a town, like, or, a city too. But basically, like, yeah, they're all open world. Um, and they do have different endings. Like, it's very choice based too, somewhat. And not like choices like the Telltale games or like Until Dawn or it's not choice based like that. It's more like you have a timer, and if you don't do this assignment in the mission, the story, then you get this ending because you missed that mission, um,
Ah,
kind of thing.
gotcha.
Yeah. So
I remember I remember
go ahead.
the I remember the very first open world game that I ever saw, and I can't remember the name of it. I don't do a lot of games like you guys, like you and stuff, but it was a car racing game, and
Oh,
you could
cool.
go off track just driving through the desert or the country or whatever, and you couldn't do anything. It's just
That's
you're just
crazy.
driving around, and that's what everybody would do. They would just drive around and never race or anything. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
I think Grand Theft Auto, it might be the first open world game I've ever seen in my life, like as a kid.
Oh, that's a big one to step into.
Yeah. Um, hey, Josh wants to know, James, did you celebrate Thanksgiving yesterday with your family?
I did. Well, Wednesday night because my family, like everybody, had some other family to go to yesterday. So I did my main thing Wednesday night, but it was great. It was great. I hope everyone else had a great one as well.
Yeah, same. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving with all your families and stuff. Um, Rick Grimes, he's a good friend of mine. He's a YouTuber, um, and he does awesome polls. And one of them he did was, hey, for yesterday, he said, "Happy Thanksgiving. You get to pick seven Walking Dead characters to eat at the table with on Thanksgiving. Who do you pick?" So, so that's pretty interesting. I'll try to see if
Seven? You get to pick seven? That's a bunch.
yeah, seven Walking Dead characters to have a Thanksgiving dinner with, and it's like, huh, that's a very interesting scenario to put the fans here. It's actually right here. It's like if you had to pick seven Walking Dead characters, who would you pick? Because I didn't do mine yet, so yeah.
Oh no, man. I definitely get most of the main ones there.
Hmm.
Carol, Rick, Carol. Can you get dead people like Carl?
I don't know. I think so. I think you can pick any characters that have died. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think so.
Oh yeah. Maybe bring Amy back.
Amy, like, oh man. And I've always wondered in The Walking Dead, like, how different it would be if Andrea was the one that died and Amy was the one that lived. You
Oh,
know?
that'd been cool. What if? Yeah, that's a cool thing.
Yeah, straight up. Have any of you besides Dan watched Yellowstone before? I have not seen Yellowstone, Josh.
I've watched season one only in 1883 or whatever that show was.
Cool. Um, yeah. Oh, the old. Wait, 1883. So there's an old one. Okay, because I thought Yellowstone was a new
Oh,
one, or like I thought it was
yeah,
like
they actually have several shows, not just Yellowstone, through the years. Like it goes through a different family, Dutton or whatever their names are. You know, it goes through different generations. And 1883 was the first, showing you the first ones, how they got their land or whatever.
cool. Yeah, but this is pretty good. Ending soon and prioritize other series such as Dexter, The Expanse, and Lost first. Yeah, I know you guys have been watching Lost. All right,
Yeah,
so
Lost. The Expanse is my favorite. Dexter, there's a new Dexter coming on.
Telltale they did an Expanse game, but it didn't do so well in the numbers. Telltale after they shut down from The Walking Dead season 4,
Right, right.
they
Yeah,
came
yeah, I saw that. I didn't play it.
right, but they didn't do so good. The fans really did not want the Expanse Telltale game, at least not yet. Like after you come back from being dead, like they wanted The Wolf Among Us season 2. Like fans have been for a decade demanding, insulting, uh, terrorizing Telltale, being like, "Hey, give us the game. We don't want any of this other junk. You guys promised us this sequel, and the game has been on hiatus for several years now, and yeah, it's
And
not great."
gamers, you guys are so hard to please.
Oh yeah, we're hardcore. Yeah, we hardcore, man. Um, I mean, we have our limits though. Like, here's the thing though, we have our limits when it comes to a game they owed us and promised us for a decade. Yeah, we're gonna be pretty hardcore when it comes to you know how we feel about this, how they've been treating us and all that stuff. Now, however, when it comes to Laura Bailey, who voiced Abby from The Last of Us, then that's or Anthony from who plays RJ. Like that's where we have our limits, obviously, where it's like, okay, that's a little too much. You know.
That's all right though. You gotta be able to have a voice.
Yeah,
Tell the creators what you want.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, guys, Dan and Megamat, thank you guys so much for stopping by. And like I said, if you have any questions, just please let me know. If you guys can, please give a like to the stream. Let's see. Wolf Among Us is worse than Grand Theft Auto 6 wait at this point. Yeah, I mean, imagine waiting a decade for a sequel. It's like, this is getting kind of much. Dexter's so good. Dexter's amazing. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so
It is weird. It is weird to wait because you think, you know, you're that much older. The fan base is that much older. You know, they got married and had kids. You know, they're in a whole different. You know, if you wait that long, 10 plus years, that's a long time.
yeah, that's true. It's one of those things. Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where, like, I think Donut Games, they did it with like Life is Strange. It's a game series. So it's funny when it came out, the first game came out, like the main character was like 18, and then like the fourth game is the return of that character, the main character Max, and she's like 28, 29, 30, and it's like she's literally the same age as the audience that played the first game, which I think is
That's
hilarious,
crazy.
but also it's a good I feel like that's a good idea because it's like, yeah, we're as old as the main character now. Like,
Yeah, the
you know,
character aged with us.
right. I like stories like that because then it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because then if you do a story where it's like, oh no, it's only been 2 years later, it's like the audience from before is not going to connect the same way, because it's going to be like, no, it's not the same. Like, you know what I mean? Like um, that's what, yeah, that's why in stories like it's good for the characters to age with the audience, but sometimes not too much. And you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, like
yeah, for sure.
yeah, like you don't want to follow the main characters in the story if they're like 60 or something. That's when it gets kind
Yeah,
of like
yeah,
that's a little too
yeah.
much.
They're on disability already,
Oh yeah, exactly.
or retirement.
Right. They kind of get to you kind of like have that, like you always ask that in the back of your head. You're like, man, why aren't you guys retiring? Like in the story, like with these characters, like why don't you guys retire? Like, um, but yeah, there's a lot of movies coming out. Sonic 3, um, Moana 2 just came out. Gladiator 2 came out, I think. Um, so my brother loved the first one. Good lord, man. It was one of his favorite movies growing up as a kid. My older brother.
Gladiator.
Yeah, the first
Yeah, it
Gladiator,
was good in
Russell.
its. Yeah, it was good when it came out. I think I rewatched it a few years later and thought it wasn't for some reason, but I haven't watched the second one yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard it's not so great. Hey, Walker Dead, what's up, man? Not much. Just doing a quick stream. I'm not gonna stay on for too long. Neither is James. Appreciate the like, by the way. Um, yeah, this is good. I gotta go to my cousin's house for Thanksgiving too. So we had it at our house. Oh, we have my 1 year old. Well, actually, he's 1.5 years old. He's almost two. My nephew. His name's James too. I told you about him. And dude, it's so funny. I never, as a kid, teenager, whatever, anytime I got Legos, I never understood the whole, hey, don't give this to babies, toddlers. Any kid under 4 should not have Legos. I always saw that whenever I got Legos, but I never really believed it 100%. Now I do, man, because good lord, toddlers, babies, they put everything in their mouths. Like it's
Every,
great.
everything.
Right. Paper plates, you know, pieces of, like, paperweights on the table, like toys. It's just everything, man.
Yep.
It's just insane. Hey Brian, how's it going? Good, man. I did some chores in the basement, and I'm gonna go for Thanksgiving dinner soon with my cousins. So I did a real quick stream. Like I said, I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. And like I said, guys, please ask any questions that you have for me. It doesn't have to be Walking Dead related. It's a very random stream. So yeah. Oh yeah. Box said, I just I thought about that. Oh yeah. So oh, I got one, James. If you're AMC and you could do an awesome Walking Dead box set, if you can give the fans some cool box set, what merchandise would you come up with? For me, I would do a
Mm.
Ones Who Live CRM box set, and you get a box with the CRM logo on it, and then you also get like concept arts of like different outfits, different ranking systems. I would do like a notebook where it's like Beale's inner thoughts, a journal from Beale or something. You know what I mean? Like so much like stuff with the CRM, like things you could like look up that the show never did. You know what I'm saying? Like just like all this
Yeah.
like stuff. Um, like
Yeah,
what
that's cool stuff. That's better. That's better ideas than I would have. I would have said something like maybe a few character posters or something, you know? So I like your idea better.
Yeah, cool. No worries, man. A poster could work. A poster would be cool. Rick and Michonne, poster, that you can hang up on the wall or something. Yeah, that could work. Um, awesome show.
I like the diary idea
Yeah, or the journal. Yeah, like just give us like
or
a whole
journal.
bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, like give us a whole bunch of lore with the CRM, like how really the inner workings work, the ranking system, because like I get it, the Ones Who Live had to rush, but I feel like they rushed it still too much. Like I wanted so much more CRM lore, and I don't know, maybe something else ooh, like, or how about like a tape recorder that like plays like an audio or something where it says like um some kind of message from the CRM or something like Rick related, or I don't know, man. There could have been something that would be a cool prize, like a like a little audio tape that you just play it. It only plays one message, but it's a cool thing, from AMC or the Ones Who Live, you know what I mean? And it's like
Yeah.
CRM related, or it's telling you something about the CRM, or I don't know. It could have been like you know, whoever finds this is Rick Grimes, or something like that. That would have been crazy, like
Yeah.
uh,
That sounds like something AMC is unable to think of.
yeah, I know. Now, yeah, and that way, man, the fans, man, they would have loved the box sets because I know Dan and some other people, they said they stopped getting them because they're just too expensive. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I can understand that for sure. I've never been a collector. Like maybe that's one reason I don't show myself on screen or something. I don't have the cool toys like all you guys have. I've never really been a collector of stuff, but um, I can understand people that are. And the box sets were really cool. I mean, I almost subscribed to get them myself, but I just, I don't know what, it'd be stuff collecting dust to me. I just don't. I don't have kids, I think if I had kids, I might collect more stuff because I know I might could, give it to them one day or something. But yeah,
Yeah. Um, oh, yeah, happy late Thanksgiving, David. Simba asks, he hasn't seen it, Simba, but he asks, hey, how does James feel about Puss in Boots: The Last Wish? So I know yeah. So me and Simba, we're big fans of that movie, James. That's why he's asking. But yeah, I know you're not big on movies, um, but yeah, it is. Yeah,
oh,
it is a great movie.
I'm big on movies. I don't watch the animated stuff as much, but I will watch it. I've written it down again just right now in my notes, so I'm going to make sure to watch it and let you guys know what I think.
Awesome, man. Can't wait. Um, Joshua asks, have you heard about the announcement that we're getting three new unnecessary Star Wars movies? Wow, three? I did not know that. Three more movies?
Man, I hear stuff all the time. I don't keep up with it officially, but I hear it be like, oh, there's going to be something new. And then it's like, oh, it was canceled. And then they'll be like, oh, there's going to be something new. Oh, it was canceled. So I never know what's real anymore.
Yeah, it's funny. Star Wars is like DreamWorks. Like sometimes you're gonna get like a masterpiece, like show or movie, and then sometimes you're gonna get like an absolute train wreck. And it's like you just cannot predict it. It's literally 50-50, like a coin flip with Star Wars. Um, I know there's
Yeah.
one show that did great, and then another show that did awful. It's like, man, Star Wars, you're just either really amazing or just really awful. Like It's so weird. It's like, man, can't they just get those writers that do good and they're like, hey, you guys are doing great. Let's focus on these shows, you know, and let's get more writers as good as them, and then they can do other shows, you know. I don't know. It's just it's kind of weird how, like I said, how like imagine like, seriously being in charge of a franchise and like half the shows are amazing and half the shows are like people say they're like the worst things ever. It's like, man, we can't find a middle ground here. Like, you know.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I think it's people and society as well. They're just
Yeah.
so saturated with stuff, and everything. I think that's part of it. But the writers definitely is the thing. Whether it be movies
I
or
agree.
TV shows,
Yeah.
there's just so much bad stuff out there.
I agree. Well, my brother told me this like earlier. Like he meant he looked up some stuff about God of War and Grand Theft Auto and other games, and he said like, dude, they spend Marvel Spider-Man 2. They spent like $300 million making that game, and he's just like, dude, with this amount of money, like you could just do so much. And he said like the entertainment industry is just insane. It's just too much. It's too much entertainment. Um, I mean, like, you know what I mean? And I think he's partially right. I do think fans are very demanding at times, but I think the main thing is that there's just so much entertainment. I feel like we need to tone it down just a little bit, like, focus a little more on quality, you know?
Yeah, yeah. That was one of the topics at Thanksgiving. Is that the streaming services? Like someone would mention a show, and I'd be like, "What? What service is that on?" And they'd say it, and I'd be like, "There's just so many. Like everyone had different streaming services, and we're watching different shows, and we're like, I can't afford all those other ones."
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Hold on, let me watch this real quick. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is a masterpiece of a film. I agree with that, Simba. Walker Dead says Walking Dead reboot series season 4 is gonna be fire. Yeah, can't wait to see season 4, man. Very excited for Walker Dead. I did a Fox video about Dogs' Feeder should happen series. That's cool, David. I'll check it out. Hey Brian, Dead Rising 4 is one of the worst games. Yeah, I agree with that, Simba. Hey, Brian, are you eventually gonna watch my Flash series eventually? If I have time, Walker Dead, I will try. Um, oh yeah, so James, how do you feel about the Flash or the CW shows? Because like, I think you said it before. You're not big on those, like the CW shows.
No, yeah, I haven't really watched them. I didn't watch Flash. Um, and it's not that I don't like it. It's just, trying to have time to watch everything.
Right.
I was into Marvel. I grew up collecting, I did collect both DC and Marvel comics a little bit. But Marvel was always just I don't know why. I can't really say why I liked it better, but I've just always liked it better. So I gravitate toward that kind of stuff more so than DC. And I guess it's the DC movies didn't really do anything for me. Like I didn't think they really hit the mark, and so that just you know I've heard the shows are good, Flash and all that. Punisher, I watched a little bit of Punisher because I had John in it, but
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, I just don't think anything's gonna beat Marvel's Infinity War and Endgame. Like, I just really don't think. We've had multiple Supermans, we've had multiple Flashes. It's just it gets kind of silly after a certain point. We've had a lot of Spider-Man throughout the years, and it's kind of like, yeah, well, what else is there? What's left? You know?
yeah, I've been
Um,
gravitating towards stuff that's not based on anything. Like From, I think that's a big reason that I enjoy From because we can talk about it and nobody knows what's going to happen, right? There's not a comic book or a movie that it's based on. So I like that aspect a lot.
yeah. Have you seen Absolute Batman?
I
It's a new,
haven't.
dude. It
Is
is
that an
insane.
animated?
No, it's a new comic run that's happening right now.
Oh, I
Um,
haven't. I haven't.
oh, okay. This is wait, let me see if I can find a picture. Hold on. Sorry, let me just get a good picture. I'm trying to find one and I'm just having trouble. But yeah, it's a new comic run that's happening and you know what? This picture should be good. I believe what they said to describe it was it looks like Batman ate Batman.
Oh man.
So look, this is how he looks.
Oh yeah. Did he take a serum or something? What's the premise?
Um, he's not rich. That's the main
Oh.
thing. He's not a billionaire. He's middle class. Yeah.
Man, there goes all his powers right there.
No, he's got that. He's got steroids now. I mean, he's always had them, but now he definitely has them. Um, yeah, it's a pretty new comic that they're doing. Like, it's like wow, a Batman story where he's not a a trillionaire. Amazing.
Oh, well, I did see, I thought it was Wolverine, maybe. It was like Ultimate Wolverine or something. It seems like I saw something like that. Comic
Right. Um,
advertisement.
let's see. Dead Rising 3 is okay game, but that's just me. To me, in my opinion, Dead Rising is the best. Yeah, I agree. How does James feel about Insomniac Spider-Man games? Uh, James, Simba wants to know how you feel about the Spider-Man games. The newest two that came out. The Marvel Spider-Man.
Um, I've talked to Brian probably a lot about it. I'm not a big gamer, so I haven't played those. I wish I was. I wanted to be. I don't know if I can ever be now, but I wanted to be a gamer, but I just never got into it. So you guys have to tell me, what did you think about it?
They're pretty good. They have some issues though. Sometimes they rush the story, but they do a good job with Spider-Man. Like one is graphics, swinging, missions. It's all very cool, but there are there are some moments where I do wish. Here's one thing I'll say. I do kind of wish Spider-Man wasn't a rated T game or series. Sometimes I wish they could do a Spider-Man story that's rated M or something. Like that would be insane. You know what I mean?
And do you mean that for like the gore and the action, or what do you mean? Like, what would you want that to include?
Um, well, not it depends. I mean, not gore exactly, but as far as like there needs to be death or something like that. You know what I mean? Like because sometimes like it gets kind of ridiculous in these games where it's like you see New York City on fire and it's like you get the sense that like lots of people are dying, but then it's just like no, but we can't show that because this is a rated T game. You show Spider-Man with the symbiote and he is bashing a dude into a house, and it's like no, he's alive. Don't worry, he's not dead. Spider-Man just literally slammed that guy into a car. Like you're telling me he's not dead? Like come on, you know? Like come on, like really? You get what I'm saying? It
Yeah,
gets
I
it,
get it. I get it.
yeah, it gets kind of like, yeah, I don't know about that. Um, oh, hey, okay, so really quick, let me share my screen. Oh, hold on, let me read the chat first. Do you think State of Decay 3, Killing Floor 3, No Room in Heck will be good zombie games for 2025? I don't know, Josh. Hey, Brian, what are your honest thoughts and opinions on Life is Strange comics? I don't really like them, Simba. I remember Monster House as a kid, Fox Girls is a comic. Yeah, I know. And working on a new series called Zombie Apocalypse. It has slow zombies, animal zombies, zombie animals. The main character, Ryan Riker, is on search of his wife and three kids. That's something different from Walking Dead. Well, he's looking for his wife and kids, so that is a little similar to Walking Dead. But yeah, the zombie animals thing, that's definitely different. Yeah, James, how do you feel about zombie animals in media? Do you think that zombies should just stay human, or do you think a zombie animal is a cool idea? Because like, dude, imagine a zombie bear. Like, what are you gonna do about that?
Yeah, yeah. I think I've liked those kind of stories when it was just in the animals and not humans, not both. I think when it's in both, it's just a little weird. It's a little much and overwhelming. Um, but I don't like stupid movies like, or I won't say stupid, but crazy movies like Zombie Beavers, and stuff like that. But I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
went.
guess
Oh, sorry.
if it was done well, I would like it.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, that's true. I once saw this parody movie where there was a zombie cat, and it's funny because it didn't look like a zombie. It looked like a normal cat, but it was just growling. in front of this guy, like behind him. And then the guy, oh right, it's from the zombie apocalypse, or the Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. You just had this cat. Here, let me send it. Oh man, this is hilarious. Um, yeah, I
Did
don't know.
like the zombie bear.
Yeah, it's like the cat. It doesn't look that creepy. It looks like a normal cat, but it's so funny. Like cats as zombies would be terrifying because they are
Oh
fast.
yeah,
They're fast and they claw. Like cats' claws are made for our skin. You know.
yeah they are. Yeah they are. I
Yeah.
like the zombie bear and zombie dragons in Game of Thrones. You know, that kind of thing where it wasn't everything's infected, but you had these beasts. You know that the guys were like, "Holy crap!" You know.
Right. Um. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's just Game of Thrones. I still remember the first four seasons of Game of Thrones. They're amazing, but then the rest of it's like, yeah, not so great, unfortunately. You know, it's when you have to rush the last few seasons of a story, it's just yeah. Brian, I don't recommend. By the way, Brian, I don't recommend James playing Walking Dead Destiny's horrible game. Yeah, I don't think he knows it's a horrible game, Simba. Don't worry. Movie houses 1980.
Yeah, that one was crazy Daisy right there.
Oh, good lord. Looking back, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 should have been rated M instead of rated T. We could have had a violent Venom. Yeah, I agree. Walker Dead. So fun fact, there is Venom in the game. Um, James, and I believe Tony Todd, who voices Venom, I believe he died last week.
Really?
You know, Tony,
Wow.
yeah, Tony Todd. I believe he died recently. So, yeah. Um, he asks, I think you might like the characters within my zombie apocalypse series, Brian, but ask James what he thinks about it. Yeah, James. Yeah. So Walker Dead's doing another Walking Dead. Well, it's not Walking Dead. It's a non-Walking Dead story, but it's about this guy named Ryan Riker. On search, he's on the search for his wife and kids in a zombie apocalypse. And like he said, there's slow zombies, but it's also zombie animals. Um, so yeah, he just wanted to let you know.
Cool. Cool. Sounds cool. I'll try to check it out if I get time.
All right, cool. Oh, let me share my screen. This is the poll that. Hold on. So share my screen. All right. So I'm sharing my screen right now with you, man. Um, this is. Uh, Let me know if you see it. Okay, yeah. This is the poll of smartest villains. From The Walking Dead.
Uh,
What do you think?
nice. Oh man, Alpha was smart. I mean, she was written very smart. Like she was outdoing everybody. I don't know about Major General Bill because in the end he seemed kind of stupid. He didn't have any guards. He just brought Rick in there, and he gathered everybody up in one spot so they could just be destroyed in one whack. I mean, and he was kind of more senile in the sense that he didn't have to me, that great of a plan. So I don't know if I'd put him on top. I might have to put Alpha on top because she was cunning, man. She was smart. Um,
Yeah,
but
I chose
are
Lance.
those four? Are those four the
Yeah,
choices?
they only let you
All
pick
right,
four.
I'd go Alpha, maybe Lance. I might go that order like they are.
Yeah. I don't see how Bill's winning, and then Madame Jeanette, I have no idea. I have no idea. She has the least amount of votes. So.
Yeah, she had so much potential, but fizzled.
This sounds like every Walking Dead villain ever. Like they had potential, but they fizzled. It sounds like every villain ever, almost, except for Negan and Alpha. Like Lance. People said that about Lance. People said that about Pamela. Like I don't know. There's something cool I liked about Lance as a villain because he seemed like a Littlefinger character where he was just playing chess with everyone. He had all these backup plans, favors, and stuff. But then, obviously the
Yeah,
way the show did it. With Alpha, I admit she was smart too, but I just kind of feel like she got lucky a lot of times. Like the only person she was constantly outsmarting is like I think Carol. Like I kind of feel like the characters were I don't know. I really don't want to be so negative, but I kind of feel like the characters were kind of dumb in season 10. At least some of them, like, because like they're getting attacked by zombies, and the character's like, this has to be Alpha, and Michonne is, she kind of like just pushed it off as a coincidence, or at least someone did, and I'm just like, no, I'm with them. There's no way Alexandria can be attacked by like a herd every single day for like for like a week straight, and it's not like suspicious, I don't know. It's just,
Yeah,
and then also Alpha wants to meet with them, and it's like really, and then like, and also the characters didn't have like a sniper in the woods aiming at Alpha during the meeting. It's like, what is going on? Like, I don't know. It's just like, season 10 is rough, but yeah, I like
yeah,
Lance.
it's rough.
Yeah, but then obviously with General Beale, yeah, you know how I feel about him. He was old, senile, crazy. He didn't know anything about Okafor, and the way he got stabbed by Rick, and he's like, "Gosh darn Okafor!" It's like, who talks like this? Like you should be calling for your guards, or good lord, if it was, yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just the fact that he had Rick meet him by himself, no guards in his room. He had the bombs placed um, behind the meeting. It's like, dang man, it's just, yeah, it's like I thought he was gonna be one of the smartest Walking Dead villains, and yeah, General Beale unfortunately didn't end up being that. Um, it sucks, you know. Like that's
Yeah, yeah. Jada's turned out to be smarter as far as just the things that she did and was figuring out, especially in World Beyond and stuff. She seemed like a smarter villain.
yeah. Or Elizabeth Kublik. I loved her as a villain. As a standalone villain, we only got for 2 seasons. She was a really good villain.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I did a video on this a few months ago about I feel like, I think, yeah, I did in the Walking Dead meetups, and I said Rick Grimes and Elizabeth Kublik. I'm like, imagine these fantastic British actors just back and forth, their chemistry. I'm like, I feel like that would have been a cool scene, Rick and Elizabeth. That would have been sick.
yeah, yeah. I was hoping maybe they would cross paths, even if Kublik was still in detention or whatever. That we would have seen her, if anything, just for a moment. Just Rick passing by her or something, even if they didn't talk. Like give us some Easter eggs. We got zero, zero from World Beyond.
I know, man. It's horrible. It's like, dang, man. Why couldn't? I know people don't like World Beyond, but as far as the CRM lore and stuff, I loved it. I feel like we got so much from the CRM in that show. You know what I
No,
mean?
and it pretty much ended up. It almost. I mean, it set up the Omaha stuff and told us that story, but of course Jadis crossed over. But she was the only one. It almost was like we're just going to show you how Jadis became more than and now we'll introduce her in The Ones Who Live, and that was the purpose of the story or something. I don't know. It seems like Scott Gimple's like, I got this in mind, and then he changes his mind halfway through. Now I got this in mind, and he changes his mind again. Now I got this in mind, but he still got elements of the other thoughts.
Right. It definitely seems like at times Scott Gimple is planting all these different seeds. And he's like, oh, all these seeds are going to be amazing. They're going to blow everyone away. And he's like, oh, crap. I totally forgot those seeds I've put 5 years ago. I didn't water them, you know?
Yeah, yeah, maybe he had intention to, but he's like, oh, well, that ain't going to work out, so he's just got to leave it. And then he's like, oh, well, that ain't going to work out. He's got to leave that one.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah, but I feel like that's Gimple for you, more or less. And oh, and fun fact, I'm watching these streams from Walker Dead Phoenix. He's trying to finish up Until Dawn, that amazing game, that amazing horror game. And I don't know if I told you, but they filmed a movie on it. They finished filming the Until Dawn movie, and um and I heard some things where it's like, well, one is the film is not going to be based off the game, which I hope is not true. But also, part of me was like, oh man, unless it's Sonic, like how do you do a movie based off a game? Right? Isn't that kind of like a hard, like, Mario, like, is, um, yeah. Oh, 1 second, man. Um, but yeah, like, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Wait 1 minute. Okay, when is he leaving? When is he leaving? Robert, when are you leaving? Robert, when are you leaving? 5 minutes? Okay, thanks. Hey, sorry about that, man. I only got like 5 minutes before I have to leave, but yeah, I'm gonna, but yeah, that's something we can talk about. How do you feel about um movies? Sorry, games being translated into movies. Like, what are your thoughts on that, James?
If it's done right, that's the whole thing. But I guess you could say that about just everything. If it's done right and if it's written well. But like you were mentioning, some games are harder or weird. Would be more weird, like Mario Brothers. How do you really do that? Or Sonic, which they did decent versions. I actually haven't saw either one of those, but I heard people enjoyed them pretty good. But I would like to see a game like an open world game, like where you're a medieval knight. I don't know the names of all of them. Running through, killing monsters or something. Some real epic, big
Yeah,
epic game that's made as a serious movie. Not a comic booky in any way.
yeah, man. I've always wondered, man. Can you imagine if they did a Walking, it's not Walking Dead, a Game of Thrones open world game? Like you play as
Yeah,
a
that'd be crazy.
you play as a new character, like your character in the world of Game of Thrones. You could be a little, you could manipulate people. You could be honorable, like Jon Snow. You could, like you could just do whatever. Because, like, don't get me wrong, I, I understand in stories it's nice to root for the underdog, the nice guy. But good lord, okay, I'm sorry, I have to say this. Jon Snow is one of the most boring protagonists I've ever seen in the story. Like, I'm sorry, I have to say, because I'm just like, where is his? I'm like, where is his character development? I just don't see it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just
Yeah, he went through some stuff, but he was just I'm just a good guy, all the way through to the end. And in the end, he's like, I'm just a good guy. I'm just going to ride off into the north with these other people.
right. It gets kind of like what? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, okay, hey, real quick. I heard foxes were being hunted. Yeah, I agree, David. That's not good. Fox hunting is wrong. That's nice. Let's see. I like to think characters when I'm things about it. Season 1 of Zombie Apocalypse isn't out yet, but I'm writing the scripts for the rest of the season. That's cool. Hey Brian, do you think they wasted Pamela on the show? Um, what do you think, James? Do you think they wasted show Pamela? I would say I would say a little bit, not too much, but it was kind of rushed because season 11 was supposed to have a 12th season, right? So like, I don't know. I think
Yeah,
Pamela, I think it was
I
okay. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
think in ways she was, and in ways she wasn't. And that's just looking at comic book Pamela, and kind of comparing. But yeah, I think it goes back to the writing, and that would be overall, not just Pamela's character, just the overall writing of that season, not just being rushed, but just some storylines kind of being, like her character could have been, I guess, even darker. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely think they should have addressed the whole sending people. Like, I don't know. I definitely think at times she could have been darker, but then again, it's like, what could she do? She's a skinny 70 year old, 60 something, 70-year old woman. Like, it's one of those things where I'm
Right?
like, yeah, she's not an intimidating character, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
She would have had some more stuff going like Lance did, and like you say, the little finger aspect. That's why I like Lance. Also, he was kind of like a little finger, and if she had some more of that going on, or at least if it explained it, like you say, a lot of stuff was mentioned and just never explained, and A lot of stuff could have happened.
Yeah, I agree. Walker Dead says General reboot General Bill will absolutely kill TV General Bill straight up. Well, yeah, of course, Walker Dead. You have Dominic Purcell as your General
Mm.
Bill. Like, good lord, and you establish he's going to be one of the most dangerous people even before the apocalypse. So, like imagine that, James. Can you imagine if one of the most dangerous people in the world survived the apocalypse? And it's like, oh wow, like
Would would one-handed Rick have been able to defeat him?
Dominic Purcell Bill? No. Walker Dead kind of mentioned that multiple times. Like no. He said that you would need Daryl, Negan, and Rick together, like a kind of like a
Huh.
three versus
That'd
one,
be
three versus
that'd be a
one.
hell of a fight, though.
Oh, it
You
would
know, make
be.
it better than the beta. Make it better than the beta fight. That was kind of wimpy.
I know. So true. Beta died a beta. It's funny. Um, um, Brian. Hey Brian, what happened to Fear AMC Walking Dead? They turned out AMC should be ashamed. I agree. Brian asked James what his honest opinions, what I got planned for my reboot series. He already said it. Walker Dead. He's excited. It sounds cool. I'm glad Walker Dead Phoenix version of Fear is better. Yep. Sorry guys, I have to read these chats quick. Walker Dead, I believe your version of season 4 will be better. Also, Telltale Game of Thrones was so bad. I agree. Walker Dead Phoenix will do a better job on Pamela. Jeanette, Lo Sang, and Jensita were terrible villains in Daryl Dixon's season 2. Oh wow, there were 3 villains. I didn't know that. But yeah, he said all 3 were terrible, James.
Yeah, I
Is it
agree. The way it was written was terrible, in my opinion. I get slack for saying that sometimes, but the writing, man, it's just you think the big bad villain. No, she's just going to die mid-season, and then the number two is going to come up, and or actually the opposing, like the person she was against, becomes the new villain, which is crazy in itself. And then that person dies, and another one steps up by the end of the season, and then it's like, what the heck is this?
Yeah, I totally agree, man. It doesn't make sense. Hey, I got a few more minutes and then I have to end the stream. I gotta go. But yeah, is there anything you want to ask me, James, about my series, how I feel about certain things in The Walking Dead? Um, just anything in particular. Like anything
Um,
on your mind, about certain movies or shows that people have suggested to you.
um, well, Brian has a series, fan fiction series called Extinction that I'm going to try to review. I'm trying to get through the first three, and hopefully that'll happen really soon. I'll finish that up and be able to put it up on my channel. But why not just give me your own summary of season one of Extinction?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that. No worries. Um,
And then whoever's listening to the video can hear it as well.
Okay, yeah. I'll definitely message you again about that. Like, real. Wait. Sorry. Did you ask for someone else's opinion on season 1 or recap, or my recap?
Your, yours,
Okay.
yours. Can you do it in just 2 minute, a 2 minute recap?
Yeah, I can do something like that. Um. Uh, it's just. I don't know why, but I thought season 1 is the shortest, so I thought you already went through that. But I guess.
Yeah, I'm on season three right now.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, I'll do a quick recap of season 1 and let you know. In 2 minutes. I'll try my best. Reboot Rick Grimes will lose his hand within my work at the reboot series because, to be fair, Rick losing his hand was just ridiculous. Um, I didn't watch that season. Won't lose his hand. Oh, okay. Won't lose his hand. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, the whole Rick losing his hand thing, that was always something so debated in the show. And that's the thing too. People want Rick to return, but if Rick ever does return to Walking Dead universe, which I don't think he will, he's gonna have that prosthetic thing. They have to do something with that Rick's hand, missing hand. That is something they would have to address in the Walking Dead universe. If we ever see Rick again, what about the hand? You know, it's yeah. Um, let's see. Anything else? Yeah, good for you if you're not watching. Not watching what? Oh yeah, Daryl Dixon. Oh yeah, dude. Everyone is saying so many things about Daryl Dixon. They're saying that Jeffries is gonna be in it. You know, like you know, you can imagine it, Jeffrey Grimes. Because you know they have it in Spain. That'd be crazy. Like you know, I'm Jeffrey Grimes. Daryl just tackles him. You're lying. He doesn't. Rick doesn't have a brother. I'm his brother. There's no way. You know, he'd just be like, "You liar." That'd be funny. Um, All right, guys. Let me see. Imagine I found footage. Until Dawn film, a short film. It's with completely different cast. Yeah, that would be interesting. Walker Dead Phoenix. All right, guys. I gotta end the stream right now. Thank you guys so much. I'm really sorry it's so short. I wanted it to be longer, but unfortunately, I was cut short on time. James, thank you so much for.
Yep. Appreciate you having me.
Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday and your weekend. And yeah, like I said, don't worry. I'll keep in touch with the extinction. I'll give you that recap. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, man. Take care.
Yeah. Same to you. Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. I feel like my Walking Dead reboot series doesn't get a lot of credit. Yeah, it was a good episode. No, no, you're right. Walker Dead. It's just, it's a great episode. You just got to keep up with it, man. Have a fantastic rest of your day, Brian. Yeah, you too, Walker Dead. And don't worry. If you're, I think you're streaming tonight, right? I'll see you then. So yeah, guys. Have a blessed Friday, and see you all later. Take care. Bye.